President, I declare that this graduation exercise of Utica College to be in session.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the singing of the national anthem by graduating senior Casey Meisner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Beautifully done, Casey. Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Todd Hutton, President of Utica College. Members of the class of 2014, families and friends, trustees, faculty, staff, Mr. Roy, Professor Miga, Mr. Carbone, and other distinguished guests. I'm honored to welcome you to the 65th commencement at Utica College. I want to extend a special greeting to all of the family members in attendance today. It is because of your love and your nurturing support that these soon-to-be graduates have achieved this milestone in their lives. I know that our students appreciate your love and support, and our faculty and staff appreciate the confidence that you placed in us to help prepare your loved ones for the world of work, for leadership in their communities and in their chosen vocations, and for a lifetime of never-ending learning. I would also like to recognize a group of very important people in our students' lives and in the life of this college, our faculty and our staff. I would ask that our students give a standing ovation for the faculty and staff who have dedicated their lives to your learning and development. Please be seated. members of the class of 2014, we are here today to celebrate your achievements and to bestow upon you the imprimatur for calling yourself a graduate of Utica College. That imprimatur being the bachelor's degree. This degree represents the certification of the faculty and the Board of Trustees of Utica College that you have successfully completed a course of study and are deserving of the credential and the symbol of that achievement. Today's ceremony is also our way of congratulating you, our graduates, for your many extraordinary achievements and for your contributions to our community of scholars. And we also thank you for enriching our college community as well as the local community. We are better for your having been here, and I hope that you can say the same about yourselves. Before I introduce the next speaker, I want to tell you a very short story that has touched my heart. Members of the Utica College community know that this has been a very difficult year for us. In the span of less than 1 year, we lost 4 students, 1 faculty member, and 2 staff members. Students Matt Dunn, Joseph Chubbuck, David Walter, and Nick Turek, Professor Tom Brown, and staff members Greg Roberts and Kathy Warzella. They left us much too soon, and we remember all of them on this occasion. I want to especially mention Joe Chubbuck. Joe passed away on August 1st, 2013, just before he began classes, after a long illness. Had he not passed away, he would have been graduating today. Joe's mother told us that before he died, he said that one of his greatest regrets was not being able to complete his education. Excuse me. It's my great honor to say today that we will confer upon Joe Chubbuck his Bachelor of Science degree posthumously. We'll be meeting with Joe's family in a few weeks to present them with Joe's diploma. But I'm touched that Joe's parents, Barbara and Joseph, are here with us today, and that they provide Joe's military beret for the chair right here to be set in his honor. I tell you this story not to make you sad, but to inspire you, to always reach for that which may seem impossible. Joe Chubbuck reached for what he thought would be impossible, but his family and his UC professors were there to help. And from this day forward, he will be recognized as a UC graduate. So in closing, I want to share this piece of advice that came to me many years ago from a UC alum. Take time for quiet moments and for personal reflection. Take care of yourself, just as you take care of your career, your family, your community, and others around you. That alumnus's wish for graduating students and my wish for you today is this: may you find peace within yourself, and may happiness and good health be with you always. Congratulations and best wishes to all of you, our graduates. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Chanel Finney, President of the senior class. Madam President.
Short problems. Thank you, President Hutton. And good morning, Board of Trustees, Mr. Roy, members of the platform party, faculty, staff, friends, and last but not least, the class of 2014. Now, if you know me, you know I can stand up here and talk to you all day long. But don't worry, I'll keep it under 20 hours. People have gathered from all over today to commemorate our past 4 years here at Utica College. There are those who have encouraged us, humbled us, taught us, and fought for us throughout the years. As we stand here at the end of our undergraduate career, it is important that we acknowledge those who have supported us alongside our journey here today. So, to all of the grandparents who sent us care packages, to all of the parents who called residence life when their son or daughter didn't get the room of their choice, to the younger brother or sister who argued with us every time we came home from break, reminding us why we decided to go off to college in the middle of nowhere in the first place, to the advisor who may have never seemed to remember us, but always knew how to tell us we hadn't signed up for enough classes, and to the many staff and friends who stepped up to the plate when no one else seemed to be in our corner. We thank you. Graduates, please give all of those a round of applause as they will continue to be there for us. No matter how mature we may think we are, we will need them now more than ever. Graduates, as I look around and see your faces, some of you are scared, some of you are excited, some of you are ready to celebrate what's to come. But let us take this time to really feel and process what is actually happening here today, and understand how far we've come and how much more we have left to accomplish. For me, the word Utica went from being the second to the last stop on the 4 train in Brooklyn to a small town with a big heart. And like many of my classmates, the reasoning behind coming to Utica College was strengthened when they sent us our first free t-shirt in the mail. Trust me, it wasn't an easy decision. We have learned so much more than what we thought we would at our alma mater. Many of us who have lived on campus learned that the best meal in the cafeteria was breakfast, and if you were running late, you'd have to skip Tammy's line. We love you, Tammy. We've learned that the Gannett Library during finals week is sometimes usually not at all that quiet, and Chi Beta Sigma's air band was definitely guaranteed to have the same attendance as this commencement ceremony. Go girls. The latter of us today have learned some scholarly things. Sorry. I know the valedictorian Christina Shakula and Joshua Har, the salutatorian, can attest to that. A couple of us learned how to post our angel discussions 1 minute before the cutoff at 11:59, and how to blatantly tell your professors you weren't able to turn your paper because you were sick, when in reality, you were just sick of writing papers. Most of us can do in-text citations in our sleep, while studying and taking selfies in the same breath, although the quality may suffer a bit. But more than all of that, we learned how much diversity we have here at UC, and our commonality within those diverse groups. We learned that some of us didn't have that spare time to share some of those campus experiences I mentioned earlier as the person next to you or in front of you, because in today's economy, you were juggling a full-time job in the community, dealing with your spouse or children back at home, or possibly dealing with a serious illness back home with your family or within your own lives, all the while working hard to obtain this degree. I would love to say we all came running to this finish line, degree in hand, because nothing and no one could stop us, but that's just not true. We faced those challenges, and many obstacles did try to stop us. But being a strong believer in the fact that struggle reveals the brighter, stronger, and sexiest you, I really wanted to highlight that, because your hard work, dedication, and determination did not go unnoticed. In the end, we all can identify with the worry, the fears, the fun times, and the many times we stared at the face of fear and said, nothing will stop me. During the difficult times we've encountered on our educational journey here at Utica College, this struggle and this success is what we have in common. Some have doubted us. Some tried to hold us back. But every graduate here today made a decision not to quit. We recognize that when you don't quit, you can't fail. Again, repeat, when you don't quit, thank you. And we know that if we carry that with us for the rest of our lives, that we will make something for ourselves. Promise me that you won't let anyone downplay what we've accomplished here today. Know that our UC degree is our precursor to greatness, and we are just getting started. So class of 2014, I wanted to leave with you with a few things. Be true to who you are and what you want in life. Parents and friends have dreams of their own, and some they want you to fulfill. You must come to know your own dream and live it each day. You can have role models, but never observe so far into their mirror that you can't see yourself in your own. Stay humble. Not every accomplishment needs to be broadcasted to the social networks, and trust me, there will be people who can't handle your awesomeness. And yes, there will be those who will look for ways to bring you down. Behind followers and likes, sometimes you can't differentiate who's who. Yes, we do only live once, but do something valuable so that it benefits those around us and those who come generation after us. When you think of someone who has encouraged you, call them. When you have an idea, expand on it. When an opportunity presents itself, seize that moment. Don't be caught up in the what ifs or the should haves or the I don't know how to's. Let's just get up and do it. If the results are not what you wanted, be glad about what you have learned. Life should be about a quest of finding yourself, knowing your limits, and working to raise them. Now for the big one. Have fun. There are times when we get caught up in the erroneous expectations of society. A little fun ain't hurt nobody, and if it did, they didn't do it right. Those who are doing it right, you will see that they're not miserable, and they're following their happiness and joy. Start doing what not only makes you happy, but what makes you grow as an individual, the true you. Whether or not you discover a career in business, education, medicine, engineering, government, full-time mother or father, always remember that our journey began at Utica College. This is a connection that cannot be broken. Class of 2014, this is the beginning of the rest of our lives. It has been a pleasure to serve as your senior class president. Congratulations.
Chanel embodies that new tagline that you see on the banners. What is that? Never stand still. Chanel, thank you very much. It's now my privilege to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Mr. Travis Roy. In every respect, Mr. Roy embodies the perseverance, the spirit, grace, and pioneer fortitude that have defined Utica College as both an institution and, more impressively, a community. A native of Augusta, Maine, he distinguished himself as one of the top amateur hockey players in the country, earning an athletic scholarship to Boston University and the opportunity to play for the legendary coach Jack Parker. But it was not to be. Mr. Roy's dreams of winning a national championship, competing for his country in the Olympics, and skating in the National Hockey League were derailed moments into his first and only collegiate game. Yet Mr. Roy has not allowed his life's tale to be told in tragic verse. While his physical ability to move was taken in an instant, he has in fact never stood still. As Utica College asks its incoming students, as I ask of the students who will shortly walk across this stage, Mr. Roy has realized the full potential of a vigorous and fulfilling life of contribution and meaning. An author, advocate, motivational speaker, and philanthropist, he has inspired millions, including professional athletes, business leaders, U.S. presidents, and young children. In doing so, he has reminded a nation of admirers that their actions do not require physical exertion. Rather, they come from within the strength of one's character and values. In 1997, Mr. Roy founded the Travis Roy Foundation to assist and enhance the lives of spinal cord injury survivors and their families. To date, through the foundation, Mr. Roy has contributed more than $4.5 million in support of spinal cord injury research and individual grants for victims needing adaptive equipment. Please join me in welcoming Travis Roy.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Great job, Chanel. That was fantastic. I realize you're giving the interpreter breather, though. I thought that's a good move. Let me get a little higher so everybody can see me. This is a treat. It really is to be able to share on this day with the graduates. But I'm going to start right in. See, I believe in life there's times when we choose our challenges, and there's other times when the challenges simply choose us. It's what you do in the face of those challenges that defines who you are. More importantly, who you can and will become. See, for 20 years, I pretty much chose my challenges. Most of them took place in the curved dashboards of an ice hockey rink. I'm very comfortable in this place. But if there's a gene that passes the love of sport on from one generation to the next, I have it. And I got it from my dad. You see, in the house that I grew up in, just off the kitchen, there was this closet. And on the back of the closet door, there was an old metal pencil sharpener, the ones with the metal arm crank. And my dad, he always hung his coach's whistle from that pencil sharpener. On the floor was a bag of pucks. And I can still remember all those nights we'd finish dinner, we'd go to the closet, he'd grab his whistle, the bag of pucks, and we'd get in the car and it was off to hockey practice. Now I never really enjoyed school or was great at it, but I love sports. It's nothing I enjoyed more than being in the car, going to the rink with my dad. Just being in that moment when he would tip the bag over and the pucks would come flopping out onto the ice. Oh, it was my thing. It was my high. It was my passion. And I just knew it would be a part of my future. So in the fall of my freshman year in high school, at just 15 years old, I did what my coaches said all great athletes did. Went into my bedroom, sat down at my desk, pulled out a pen and a piece of paper, and I started to write out my goals. Thought about what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, how I was going to get up there. What I came up with was part reality, part fantasy. I had short-term goals, like how many goals and assists I was going to score on the hockey team my freshman year and sophomore, junior, senior year. Finished my list of goals with my 3 dream goals. I'd play Division I college hockey, play in the NHL. Just so I didn't sell myself short, I thought there might even be a spot on the U.S. Olympic hockey team. Now, I realize this topic might be the most cliche topic in all of graduation speeches, but I hope to tell it to you in a way that you think a little bit differently about it. And just for a minute, I want you to think about your own goals. And I know right now, today, we're in a moment where you are accomplishing a very big goal. But think your own goals, whether they're personal, whether they're professional, short-term, long-term. How much do you want to make them happen? How far are you willing to go? When you close your eyes, can you see them taking shape? What can or will you overcome in the name of your passion? In the name of your new profession? Now, I'll be honest with you, setting goals is the easy part. And really, 5-10 minutes, write them down, evaluate from time to time. I think the bigger challenge is what's going to keep you motivated to see them through, to make them happen, to make them come to fruition. Now, I know a lot of people, they like to have incentives, physical incentives. You do well, graduate today, I hope you're going out for a nice dinner tonight. You get that first job, get that promotion, that raise, maybe go on a vacation, maybe you buy a new car. I think physical incentives work. But I got to tell you, when I look back at the years that I spent in the gym lifting weights, all the Friday and the Saturday nights when my friends were going to parties, when I was in the rink working on my skating and my shooting, I realized I didn't do those things for physical rewards. See, I believe there's 2 primary motivating factors that you've got to have in order to accomplish your goals and hopefully someday your dreams. And the first one is, you've got to want to see how good you can be at whatever it is you choose. I wanted to see how fast I could skate. I wanted to see how accurately I could shoot the hockey puck. I wanted to see how many of those goals I'd written down my freshman year that I could check off. Wanting to see how good you can be. To answer that question, what's your potential? How far can you take it? How good can you be? Now, I mentioned there are two primary motivating factors that I think you've got to have. And the second one, it's basic. It's very basic. It's so basic I wasn't even aware of it when I was younger. But in hindsight, I realized that it drove me more than anything. Especially since my accident. Trying to put my life back together, trying to make something of this life as in a wheelchair. And for me, it all comes back to having pride. And pride is knowing that you tried your best, that you gave it your all, that you didn't let your parents down. You didn't let your professors down, you didn't let your friends down, that you didn't let yourself down. We all know when we cut corners, we don't put in our best effort. If you look up the word pride in the Webster Dictionary, it will tell you that pride is having reasonable or justifiable self-respect. And it does. It's got to be reasonable. It's got to be justified. But you've got to have that pride, that belief in yourself to accomplish your dreams. Now, for me, it was kind of fun just how close I came to crossing out each one of my goals. And by the time I entered my senior year in high school, I've been contacted by every major Division I college hockey program in the country, by the NHL Central Scouting Bureau. And finally, I found myself at Boston University, the defending national champions. They had sent over 60 players onto the NHL, more than any other school. 5 former Terriers have won Olympic gold medals, and I figured the history of the program, it was clearly aligned with my goals. And finally came the day of our first game. It was Friday, October 20th. My parents drove down from Maine to be there. My sister was there, my friends, and my old coaches. I was playing on the third line. 2 minutes into the game, we scored, and the old Walter Brown Arena, the place went nuts, the fans were going crazy, and then I felt it. It was the tap on the back of my shoulder that I had been waiting my whole life for. It was Coach Parker who was signaling to me it was my turn to take the ice. It was my moment. I hopped over the boards. I lined up for the face-off. They dropped the puck. Puck got dumped into the offensive zone, and I skated in there just as fast as I could. Opposing defenseman picked up the puck, and I thought, aha, this is my moment. I can make my presence known. I'll deliver a big shoulder check. I skated in, and I angled myself just right. I followed through my check, and the defenseman kind of moved out of the way a little bit, which was naturally. Try not to let somebody hit you squarely. And I lost my balance, which was ironic because I was a good skater. I had great balance. And my momentum took me headfirst into the dashboards. And I hit my head and I fell to the ice. And I remember thinking, I'm in big trouble. Can't feel anything, can't move anything. They blew the whistle. Team trainer came out onto the ice. And they asked the trainer, I said, can you find my dad? He's up in the stands. They found him and he came walking onto the ice. And I heard him before I saw him, and he said, come on, Trev, get up, be tough. There's a game to be played. I told him that my neck hurt, that I was in big trouble. But that's not why I called him down to the ice. The next thing I said to him, I said, Dad, I made it. Maybe it had only been 11 seconds from the time the referee dropped the puck until he blew his whistle. But for those 11 seconds, I proved that this little kid from Yarmouth, Maine, had beaten the odds, had chosen his challenge, and had made it. I proved it to everyone. I proved it to myself. At the same time, challenge had chosen me. And now my goals would have to change. For the next 6 months, I lay in a hospital in Boston. Eventually they transferred me down to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was a tough life trying to figure things out again. And you know what? Yes, sometimes the challenges do choose us. And that's what it takes, everything we've got to face them, to make the right choices and define who you are. The choices you make, and when you make them, really do say so much about you. But you always have a choice. 6 months after I got out of the hospital, I finally found myself back in Maine, wondering, what am I going to do with my life now? Eventually I figured out that the values that made me successful before my injury were going to be the exact same values that made me successful afterwards. And it came right back to setting goals, to having pride, to having love. So I set my goals. I decided I'd eventually go back to school. Took two classes my first semester. Things went well, so I took a full load next semester. I graduated in 4 years. I was proud of that. Next, I had to figure out, my next goal was to figure out how to create a life for myself. I realized that I could make a career out of giving speeches. I worked hard at organizing my content, my thoughts, my delivery, my breathing. After 4 years of working on my craft, I ended up doing the exact same thing I did when I was 15 years old. I went into my bedroom, I turned on my computer, and I dictated my next list of goals. I put together a 10-year plan with dream goals. I wanted to make $1 million over 10 years. I wanted to build a dream home up on this little family property up in Vermont. I wanted to be debt-free by the time I was 40. I'm sure you guys would like that. That's on your minds probably a little bit. And then I started chipping away at it. I spoke at Rotary clubs. I spoke at elementary schools. I just graduated. I was trying to find a wife. Trying to find a girlfriend, so I thought, well, I had an opportunity. I spoke at a women's penitentiary. That didn't work out so well. So then I thought, well, I'll go to the other extreme, and I spoke to a Catholic Women's Divorce and Widows Club. That didn't work out too well either. I didn't realize if you're widowed, that means you're generally pretty old. But I can tell you that if you just keep working at it, and you guys are going to come out of here and you're going to start at the bottom, but take pride in starting the bottom. And slowly you'll get there. 8 years into my 10-year plan, you know what? I reached my $1 million mark. It takes time. It takes work. But the last thing I want to say about setting goals is that if you write them down, and I'm telling you it's a mistake, if in the next few weeks you don't sit down at a desk and write out your goals. Because what you'll do is you'll tuck them in an envelope, you put them on somewhere special, and every morning from that day on, you'll wake up thinking about them. And I swear to you, there is a gravitational pull. If you have a work ethic, if you have pride, if you know where you want to go, it will get you there. You will get there. You will realize those dreams. The last thing I want to talk about real quick is about love. I was kind of funny when I was in 5th grade. I was always trying to find love, and I went into my homeroom class and I looked up the word love, and I knew I was loved by my parents. I knew I was surrounded by love, but I always thought there had to be something more to it, you know? Well, I finally figured out what that was, or at least I thought I did. It was between my freshman and sophomore years in high school, and I went to this party, and it was in a neighboring town. And this girl, she came walking into this party, and she caught my eye right away because she was cute. I mean, she was hot. And over the course of the night, we started to talk, and we hit it off. And at the end of the night, we kissed, and oh my God, my heart, it was beating 1,000 beats a minute. Felt all tingly inside. I thought, this is amazing. And I thought, wait a minute, this is going to be that whole other aspect of love that I've been missing out on, you know? And as I lived separated, I told her that I loved her. And, oh boy. She looked at me like I was crazy, and for good reason. But I learned, I'm a pretty quick learner, and I have since learned that love doesn't happen quite that fast. But what I've learned is it's the emotions. It's the emotions that make love what it is. Whether it's the highs of falling in love to the lows of losing a loved one. But the key is to acknowledge those feelings, to let the people around you know how you feel about it. You know, whether it's a simple thing, whether it's sending a card home to someone special. You know, just before you sign off that text message, before you hang up that phone, then you tell your grandmother, your cousin, your friend that you love them. Telling the people around us that we love them should be a daily occurrence, not something saved for special occasions. But you got to understand that there's all kinds of different types of love. There's love for a sport, there's love for a dog, there's love for a professor, there's love for a parent. It's all love. Now I know sometimes it's weird though, telling somebody you love them for the first time, right? You never know how they're going to accept it, you know, how they're going to interpret it. And I get that. But when I give speeches, I used to get one question more than any other. People, they'd always ask me, they'd say, Travis, what's the first thing you do when you get out of your wheelchair? I've been in this wheelchair for 18 years. What would be the first thing I do when I get out of my wheelchair? And I got to tell you, the answer, it has never changed. The first thing I would do when I get out of this wheelchair is I would hug my mother. And I would hug my dad. And I would hug my nieces, and my nephews, and my sister, and my friends that have been there, that have supported me, that have encouraged me. And if you're not quite comfortable with telling somebody you love them, I get it. But don't be afraid to give them a hug with that squeeze that lets them know that you care about them, that they mean something to you. And I know that everybody in this room loves you guys. They've worked hard to provide this opportunities. You've worked hard to take advantage of them. I hope in the next few hours, the next few days, you'll give a lot of hugs. Now, I hope that by hearing my story, I've helped you see that who you are at the core is really what's going to get you through life's challenges. Whether you chose them or they chose you. That having a passion can drive you to great things if you set the goals you need to make them happen. That having pride in everything you do can make most anything possible. And that having love will always make your lives rich. I want to thank you for this opportunity to share my story. I'm so excited for you guys. Good luck, and I'll be watching you. Thanks so much.
Travis, thank you for sharing your life story and your inspiration with us. It truly means something to all of us, so thank you very much. I would like now to ask the Utica College Board of Trustee member and former chair of the board, James DeRoss, to come forward for the presentation of our first honorary degree. Mr. DeRoss.
Mr. Carbone, Don, you are one of the region's most respected business owners, a philanthropist of great stature, and a true friend of Utica College. Throughout your life, you have shown a tireless dedication to the values entrepreneurship, innovation, and community service. Your remarkable success as a business person is founded on your belief of the value of the individual and your commitment to maintaining a high standard of excellence on behalf of the families you serve. For this, you were named one of the top 5 automotive retailers in America by Time Magazine. You have always held your community in very high regard and have consistently applied your considerable talents to promoting its greater prosperity, both through the growth of your enterprise and your lifetime of philanthropy. You have participated in civic and charitable organizations at a very high level for many years, with particular attention to humanitarian causes that directly benefit the community you call home. Your commitment to the principles of higher education is demonstrated by your active engagement in the life of Utica College and your continuing support of its mission. You served the college with distinction as an officer of its foundation board and in more recent years as a charter member and vice chair of the Board of Trustees. Your leadership was crucial to the success of the campaign for Utica College in the 1990s, and your avid participation in the Achieve campaign helped ensure the college's realization of a new dream and a new era. In fact, your family's remarkable generosity during Achieve was recognized with the dedication of the Carbone Family Auditorium at the close of the campaign. Don, for decades, you have been selfless in your support of this institution, standing with us through some challenging times, always there to help us find our way to a better place. It was our good fortune to be able to rely on your focus, your humble strength, and your steady leadership over the years. For this and for so much more, we will always be grateful. It is therefore with great pride that Utica College presents you with the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and all rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. In witness whereof, this signed diploma has been issued and the seal of the college affixed, issued by the Board of Trustees upon recommendation of the faculty at Utica in the state of New York, this 18th day of May in the year 2014. Congratulations.
I am pleased to introduce Mr. Mark Pilipchuk, Vice Chairperson and Chair-elect of the Utica College Board of Trustees, who will now confer the honorary degree upon Mr. Don Carbone.
By authority of the Utica College Board of Trustees, with the faculty concurring, I confer upon Don Carbone the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. I present him with this diploma, sign and seal of the college affixed, and direct that he be invested with the appropriate hood this 18th day of May in the year 2014.
I would now like to ask Professor Jan Diamicis to come forward for the presentation of our second honorary degree candidate.
Professor Miga. Professor Miga, Doris, it's more than fair to say that in the story of Utica College, you were a central character and one of the most beloved educators in the history of this institution. A lifelong resident of the Mohawk Valley, you started your professional life as a secondary school teacher in 1948. Your association with UC began in 1963 when you taught your first class as a part-time lecturer. You then embarked on a 34-year career as a member of the college's sociology faculty that culminated in your retirement in 1997 with the title of full professor. You were named Emerita Professor of Sociology later that same year in recognition of your long and distinguished service, and have continued to teach part-time in retirement. Your tenure at the college was remarkably rich and rewarding, both for your students and for the many colleagues with whom you served. You held your students to the highest standards, and yet attended to them with such kindness and caring that you justly earned the nickname Mother Miga. You mentored scores of young faculty members and participated fully in the life of the college through extensive service on committees and other governance structures. Among many accolades, you received the Virgil Crisafulli Distinguished Teaching Award in 1980. You earned the National Alumni Council Outstanding Faculty Award in 1988, and you were inducted into the Pioneer Athletics Hall of Fame in 2010 in recognition of your many years of mentorship of young athletes at Utica College. In partnership with your late husband, Walter, you supported Utica College at a very high level, demonstrating your commitment to the long-term strength of the institution through your philanthropy. You have made it your goal to be the college's first donor at the start of every fiscal year. But I believe I speak for everyone in the Utica College community when I say that your greatest gift to this institution has been the kindness, the generosity of spirit, and the love that you have shown everyone fortunate enough to share this journey with you. It's therefore with great pride that Utica College presents you with the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and all the rights and privileges thereunto appertaining. In witness thereof, this diploma is signed, has been issued, and the seal of the college affixed, issued by the Board of Trustees upon recommendation of the faculty at Utica in the state of New York, this 18th day of May in the year 2014.
Not yet. No. Once again, Mr. Mark Pilipchuk, Vice Chairperson and Chair-elect of the Utica College Board of Trustees, will confer the honorary degree upon Professor Miga.
By the authority of the Utica College Board of Trustees, with the faculty concurring, I confer upon Doris Wester Miga, Mother Miga, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. I present her with this diploma, signed and the seal of the college affixed, and direct that she be invested with the appropriate hood this 18th day of May in the year 2014.
I just want to say that Jan, I was a mentor for Jan, and so he had to say all those nice things.
Dr. Kirkpatrick.
Mr. Pilchuk, President Hutton, it is my privilege to present those baccalaureate degree candidates in the class of 2014 who will receive their diplomas with honors. The first category is cum laude, with honors. 70 students have achieved this distinction by having earned a final grade point average between 3.40 and 3.59. Will the cum laude graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. The next category is magna cum laude, with high honors. 51 students have achieved this distinction by having earned a final grade point average between 3.60 and 3.79. Will the magna cum laude graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. The final category is summa cum laude, with highest honors. 32 students have achieved this distinction by having earned a final grade point average between 3.80 and 4.0. Among these are the undergraduate school marshals, Amanda Marsh for Arts and Sciences, Donato Traditi for Business and Justice Studies, and Renee Binner for Health Professions and Education. Will the summa cum laude graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Our summa cum laude graduates also include our valedictorian and our salutatorian. This year we've had an exceptional but very welcome circumstance. More than 2 students received a grade point average of 4.0. So we made the determination of valedictorian and salutatorian based on hours completed at Utica College and the number of hours completed at the 300 and 400 level. It is now my great pleasure to introduce this year's valedictorian, Christina Shakula, and our salutatorian, Joshua Haar. Christina? Thank you. Ms. Shakula is a biology major with a minor in chemistry and has earned a GPA of 4.0 with 92 UC credits, 54 of them in upper-level courses. Christina started at Utica College in the fall of 2011 after graduating from Whitesboro High School with a number of credit hours already earned from Mohawk Valley Community College. Her hometown is Schuyler, New York. Christina is currently working with Dr. Larry Aronson on the research of the Pseudomonas uticensis bacterium. She has been volunteering for some time in the emergency room at St. Luke's Hospital. Ms. Shakula will attend medical school at Rochester University and hopes to eventually practice family medicine in the Utica College area, a dream she has had since she was in the 8th grade. Congratulations. An accounting major. Joshua has also earned a GPA of 4.0, with 61 UC credits, 34 of those in upper level courses. Joshua began at Utica College in the fall of 2012 as a transfer from Mohawk Valley Community College. Joshua lives and works on his family farm in Brookfield, New York, and was homeschooled along with his siblings. Joshua plans to attend graduate school at Cornell University to complete his CPA and then Juris Doctorate and MBA degrees. Please join me in congratulating Joshua and his family. Once again, a round of applause for our honors students. Okay. The Dr. Virgil Crisafulli Distinguished Teaching Award is given each year at commencement to a professor who exemplifies the highest traditions of teaching. Because teaching is our first priority here at Utica College, this award has come to be recognized as the college's finest tribute to a faculty member. Students describe this year's Crisafulli Award winner as knowledgeable, dedicated, brilliant, positive, charismatic, and the list goes on. Every single nominator praised this professor's ability to convey very difficult course material in a way that each student is able to understand. It is the hallmark of a creative teacher. This professor quickly became an integral part of the department, nurturing students through active support in research projects, student clubs, and a total dedication to their education. This professor has become a vital part of the school and the college, providing exemplary service to college-wide committees, including the Faculty Resource Committee, Faculty Affairs Committee, Advisory Committee for the Health Professions, and for the past several years acting as the faculty advisor to C-STEP, UC's Collegiate Science and Technology Entry Program. She is credited for almost single-handedly resurrecting the Student Affiliates chapter of the American Chemical Society and turning it into a national award-winning chapter. Not many people could combine this with an extensive research agenda, but our awardee is a passionate researcher with a strong record of collaborating with students and colleagues here and at other institutions. She is a leader in pedagogical research in her field, presenting and publishing at both national and international levels on unique, student-centered approaches to chemical education. You almost never hear the words love and organic chemistry uttered by students in the same sentence, but it happens frequently around her. One nominator sums it up in his description of his colleague as a model to our students of the ideal academic professional, compassionate, engaged, and active in teaching, research, and service. It is my great pleasure to present this year's Virgil Crisafulli Distinguished Teaching Award to Associate Professor of Chemistry, Michelle Boucher. The 40th Dr. Virgil Crisafulli Distinguished Teaching Award is presented to Michelle Boucher, Associate Professor of Chemistry, as recognition for outstanding teaching effectiveness. Commencement, May 18, 2014.
It is my privilege to recognize the members of the class of 2014 who have received the Dean Robert E. Wood Student Life Award for noteworthy contributions to the quality of campus life. These students have distinguished themselves through their leadership in government, the fine and performing arts, athletics, student publications, community service, and the campus social and cultural activities. The members of the class of 2014 who have received this award are listed in your commencement program. I ask them now to stand as a group and receive our recognition for their outstanding leadership. Thank you. The president of the Utica College National Alumni Council will now introduce the recipient of the 2013 Outstanding Senior Award. I am pleased to present Mr. Robert Sherman, who is a member of the class of 2074.
Good morning. As president of the National Alumni Council of Utica College, it is my pleasure to welcome you as the newest members of our Alumni Association, which numbers 23,500 strong. As graduates, you may think your relationship with the college is about to come to an end. But in actuality, the relationship is taking a new path. As you leave UC and begin your career or further your education, I urge you to stay connected with your alma mater by participating in alumni events, receptions, programs, by encouraging others to attend UC for their education, and of course by letting the college know how you're doing personally and professionally. In addition, please remain connected even if it is through various social media networks such as our alumni site on LinkedIn or our UC Facebook page. Each year since 1953, the Utica College Alumni Association has presented awards to faculty, students, alumni, and friends who have made outstanding contributions to the college. At a special reception last night, I presented our recipient with the 2014 Outstanding Senior Award, which recognizes a student who has demonstrated loyalty and service to the college and also excellence in her academic endeavors. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I am pleased to ask this year's Outstanding Senior Award recipient, Miss Amanda Mars, to please stand and be recognized. Let's congratulate Amanda and wish her the best. And wish her the best as she pursues her PhD in chemistry at Duke University. In closing, I offer all graduates my heartfelt congratulations, and I wish you and your families the very best. Please return home to Utica College often. Immediately after commencement, I encourage all graduates to stop by the reception on campus, since Utica College National Alumni Council has two gifts to welcome you to the Alumni Association. I also hope to see you on campus during the fun-filled 2014 homecoming weekend, which is October 17th through the 19th. So thank you, congratulations, and good luck to you.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree and the Bachelor of Science degree please stand? That's all of you. I have the honor to present the bachelor's degree candidates of the Utica College class of 2014 as duly qualified to receive their degrees. Mr. Philipchuk.
By authority of the Chancellor of Syracuse University and the President of Utica College, and by the action of the faculty of Utica College and the University Senate, with the Board of Trustees of Syracuse University and Utica College concurring, I confer on you the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science degree appropriate to your course of study. The diploma which you receive is your evidence of our action. You may be seated.
Our bachelor's degree candidates will now be presented by the deans in the following order. Dean John Johnson, School of Arts and Sciences. Dean James Norrie, School of Business and Justice Studies. Dean Richard Rafus, School of Health Professions and Education.
Will the graduating seniors from the School of Arts and Sciences please come forward? Cassandra Lynn Meisner, cum laude. Kara McCrae, Buttermore. Heather Dawn Meenan, cum laude. Joshua Vasali, cum laude. Megan Rachel Moriel. Joseph M. Shane. Jordan Elias Habaika, magna cum laude. Caitlin Ryan McCaldy, cum laude. Keyshawn Grant, cum laude. Brian Bone. Yulia Zushma, cum laude. Hannah Johnson. William P. Darman, cum laude. Tom Min Nguyen. Richard Joseph Paulson, summa cum laude. Veronica Taylor. Dejanay Cochran. Courtney Nicole Parada. Brianna Lynn Hooks. Amanda Lee Jones. Heather Nicole McManus, magna cum laude. Nikita Patel. Shane David Duncan. Amanda Marsh, summa cum laude. Robert Wilson Heath. Richard Tehan, summa cum laude. Diana Danielle Didio. Danielle Josephine All, cum laude. Timothy J. Benson. Brian Hobbick. Chanel Matilda Finney. Alicia Christina DiCenzo. Chelsea Ray Monroe, summa cum laude. Christopher Winch. Jesse William Baldassar. Joseph Giametta, cum laude. Catherine A. Meisner. Zudia Hurich. Romy Buckut, cum laude. Alexandra Anacona Almanzar Rivera. Samantha Miller. Shaquille Barnes. Anando Grahovich. Therese Button, cum laude. Jordan Armstrong. Tracy Lynn Stevens. Alexandria Newton. Caitlin Williams, cum laude. Carissa Shelton. Cameron Andrews. Timothy Van Cauwenberg. Alexandra Balboni. Jonathan R. Peterson. Brian Fitzsimmons. Logan Placey, magna cum laude. Courtney Marie Holtham. Kellen Mary Petrie. Samuel Getman. Stacy Davis, magna cum laude. Alexander Charles Hobaika, summa cum laude. Bart W. Murnion. Cassena Perfilia. Gideon Behoning. Christopher Kibanda. Veronica G. Alote. Courtney Aaron Healy, summa cum laude. Nicole Christine Johnson. Christina Shakula, summa cum laude. Alexandria Danielle Jennings. Megan Elizabeth Mayton. Catherine Elizabeth Burdick. Brittany Austin. Brandy Ann Doherty, magna cum laude. Andrea Carrillo, cum laude. Kira J. Stone, summa cum laude. Elizabeth Wise. Alexandra Marie Lamonteau, cum laude. Kimberly Marie Hughes, summa cum laude. Daniel R. Tucker, magna cum laude. Brittany Reynolds, summa cum laude. Jennifer Ann Mush. Alicia Marie Wheelock. Lisa Ann McLean. Sean Andrew Feener, summa cum laude. Cynthia Monroe Nagel. Courtney Fowle, cum laude. Natalie Berkheimer. Jessica Franklin. Marissa Davidonis. Eric Kouassi Jr. Ketemepe. Raheem Hassan Lawrence. Ralph Vaca. Laura Beth Haggerty. Elena Mary Lamarco, summa cum laude. Tabitha Sinowitz. Nicole Elizabeth Brockway, summa cum laude. Carly Malerba. Paul Yukina. Cum laude. Kathleen Ann Innes, magna cum laude. Daniel Robert Fadden.
Will the graduating seniors please from the School of Business and Justice Studies please stand and come forward to be recognized. Donato Tradidi, summa cum laude. William Thomas Bailey. Jordan Brown. Matthew Harris. Corey Todd Rice, cum laude. James Joseph Hasner, magna cum laude. Richard Worth, Jr. Gene Wiedemeyer. Leah Kozlowski, excuse me. Ridge Jared Garbutt. Louis Anthony Malvasi. Nicholas Brett Terrian. George Lotilo, Jr. Steve Charay. April Aguilera Cohaim. Tracy Green, cum laude. Meredith Lynn Teese, summa cum laude. Vanessa Alexandra Maines. Ryan Hansen. Adam Ronald Graff. Dana Paul Christofferson. Eric Daniel Rindo. Sean Michael Jones. Jacob Tyree Scott. Andrew Oliver Calabrese IV. Alexander Rude. Joshua Har, summa cum laude. Thank you. How are you? Nathan French, summa cum laude. Sophia Rote. Tran Phu Quinn. Henlong So cum laude. Jamie Allen Murphy. Sean Andrew Hulzer. Christopher Michael Cashman. Nicholas Mutiwek. Andrew B. Moore. Phil Allen. Corey William Crane. Donald DeVries. Gianluca Cerisi. Nathaniel Stewart III. Michael Richard Bruder, cum laude. Patrick Joseph Milvahill. Nina Sterling. Gabriela Said. Jamal Ahmad Moyer. Frank Bianchi. Alexander J. King. David Leonidovich Kott. Zachary Christopher Zaborik. David William Novak. Matthew John DeCampo. Ian Normandin. Gary Verizon II. Alex C. Shalave. Jeffrey Kupka. Corey Crownin. Jennifer Rogaski. Tyler Stockholm. Leah Marie Deming. Mackenzie Sawyer. Rachel Flood. Trevor Martin Gibson. Eric James Yazalonis. Eric A. Stevens. Megan Catherine Quintanilla. Daniel Lupo, cum laude. Stephen Alex Purcell. Samuel David Lima. Kelsey E. Buckingham. Jessica Babcock, magna cum laude. Rebecca Ann Morgan, magna cum laude. Sophia Galiba. Barrington Anthony Wallace Jr. Rosalie Arias. Jeffrey Ward. Brian M. Jester. Michael Terrence Sullivan. Matthew John Dides. Mark D'Onofrio, magna cum laude. Nicholas Anthony Paduccia. There we go. Patrick J. Fitch. Edward Chen. Vincent Ricardo Soigné. Joseph K. Smith. Richard Green. Maria Sophia Sano. Allison Brockington. Rose Cotrich. Joseph Divaca. Scott Francis Barron. Sophia Christus Duan. Benton Catron. Christian Nicholas Leogran, summa cum laude. Justice Joe Jones. Alexandra Maria Hayes. How are you? David Walter Lubijon, summa cum laude. Lubijonen. Anissa Richardson. Daniela Delia, magna cum laude. Brittany Lynn Pfluger. Chelsea Lee Williamson. Mark Lambie, summa cum laude. Sarah McMyler, magna summa cum laude. Zachary Luke Lewis, magna cum laude. Chirichamia U. Alessandra Ambrosi. Jennifer Howell. Christopher Joseph Jeffers. Richard Allen Smith Jr. Matthew Edward Scuvina. Daniel J. Waltz, cum laude. Anthony Edward Caruso. Matthew Wellington. David Craig. Ray Lewis Kellogg Jr., cum laude. Jeffrey Mark Emerson, magna cum laude. Samantha Slattery, cum laude. Vasiliki K. Fagoulis, summa cum laude. Carolina Guzman. Kanan Saunders. Candace Alexis Myers. Chandra Akua Opku. Leanne Tillman. Brianna Elizabeth Herring.
Allison Elizabeth Kohler. Gabriella Ray Marcasani. Okay. Kelsey Cataldo. Mara Elizabeth Myers. Luis De Leon. Joseph T. Harrison. Nice shoes. Cody Matthew Crossett. Tyler Gardinier. Christopher Michael Gibbs. Jessica Maslum. Norma Lynn Atite, magna cum laude. Christopher John Grosso. Rochelle Di Lorenzo. And Timothy Clark Charay.
Will the graduating seniors from the fantastic School of Health Professions Education please rise and come forward? Renee Biner, summa cum laude. Michaela Lemuse. Evelyn Kurzak. Chelsea Nicole Bogano, cum laude. Rebecca Ann Day, magna cum laude. Alexandra E. Figueroa. Brianna Rose Prendergast, cum laude. Samantha Jo Prendergast. Isaac Robert Burag, cum laude. Joshua Connor Torrey, magna cum laude. Ryan Schumacher, cum laude. I missed Matthew Wyland, cum laude. Kenneth John Maturo, Jr., summa cum laude. Kevin Louder McAllister, magna cum laude. Sarah Marie Smith. Hillary Ann Beakey. Christy Nicole Worrell, cum laude. Barbara Ann Reimer. Amanda Jobson, magna cum laude. Jacob K. Myers. Elena Irene Carinci, cum laude. Christina Frances Bono. Allison Paige Myers, magna cum laude. Jennifer May Fitzgerald, cum laude. Christopher Francis Perkins, magna cum laude. J. Alexander Sheridan. Ashley Spinola. Erin Elizabeth Bolowski, magna cum laude. Kendra Lynn Burke, magna cum laude. Catherine Barbara Huschauer, cum laude. Caitlin Taylor Day. Cicely Cashman, cum laude. Julia Caroline Primps. James Maxwell Contessa, summa cum laude. Benjamin Irving Tuckman. Alicia Ann Jewell. Elizabeth Joan Sacco, cum laude. Wesley Ann Eckler. Anna Rose Massarelli. Emily Gallagher. Ariel E. Dean, cum laude. Julian Patricia French. Lindsay Gellis. Bria Christine Bruno. Stephanie Dew, cum laude. Caitlin Renee Putt. Kelly Ann Farrell, cum laude. Lucas Clay Harder. Joshua P. Davali. Nasher Alabi. Anastasia Bowden. Renee Pecco. Ebony Chantel Stetson. Phyllis Forshihima Osei. Chancey Thompson. Chauncey Thompson. Jordan M.L. Davidson. Samantha Matthews, cum laude. Alicia Tamburino, summa cum laude. Jacob Templer, magna cum laude. Peter James Kempsey. Heather Yonti. Brittany Lynn Delakey, magna cum laude. Lindsay Marie James. Alexandria May Sanders, cum laude. Britta Brennan. Ryan Quilty. Tayana Crespo. Megan McMahon. Ohalima Youssef. Deborah Ann Dow. Jennifer Keene, magna cum laude. Michael Anthony Fernandez, magna cum laude. Courtney Mary Marie Stern. Catherine Monahan. Willie Clifford Simmons III. Sarah Ann Southwell. Jocelyn Elizabeth Oakley. Angelica Monet Jones. Miguel Smith. Orlando O. Ridge. Megan Elizabeth Dean. Michaela Iverson. Margaret McLaughlin. Kayala King. Amber Balanis. Jacqueline Marie Nana. Madison Dawn Lively. Jessica Lynn Cuppernall, magna cum laude. Chance Patrick Scott. Gabriela Guerrero. Michelle Styron. Arlene Ramirez. Gianna Ladros. Miranda Aaliyah Thompson. Denise Hernandez. Jennifer Jane Hamill. Christine Elizabeth Beckman. Megan Jane Myers. Gerald Klaus. Danielle Donato. Byron Torres. Danielle Pelletier. Krista Wolf. Ariana Lynn Palmer, cum laude. Lelia Levovitz. Mariah Marianne Jaworski, magna cum laude. Kelly Nicole Reynolds, cum laude. Melissa Sue Wisner. Kelly Jen Strife. Samantha Spoler. Cassandra Rose Victon, magna cum laude. Kayla Ann Copenall, magna cum laude. Jana Hannibal, cum laude. Emily Louise Washburn. Maya Ayo Montalbano, cum laude. Jessica Lee Burchell. Lisa A. Leteri. Christina Ellen Henry. Carlos Hagan. Teresa Cardono, cum laude. Lachelle Edwards. Eva Afare. Christina Kojo. Queen Waller. Leah D. Fromm. Julian Rose Zagarali, cum laude. Elise Patricia Connolly. Melissa Ann Peruzzi. Barbara Jean Drake. Molly Megan Hall. Justine Susanna Hutchins, magna cum laude. Gerald Michael Santa Ferrari, cum laude. Jennifer Pasquale. Ashley Van Hatten. Michelle Jones. Louise Kajay. Mercy Abdullah Alandigami. Rashida Donkor. Megan Swiret. Chelsea Lynn Valancourt. Melanie Sanchez. Gabrielle R. Hansen. Joanne Jondro, summa cum laude. Deidre Elaine Warren, summa cum laude. Rebecca Marie Richards. Melissa Fisher. Kaylin Witcher. Katie Colleen Critelli. Shanice Tracy Campbell, magna cum laude. Jeanette. Elizabeth Konovu. Cassie Brancoto. Bridget May Greenwald, cum laude. Zachary Scott Fryermuth. Elise Kayleen Pate. Yonira Dawson. Kaylin Provost Brennan. Marie Toteri. Vanessa Marie Garcia. Marissa Pinciniato.
I now invite the graduates to move your tassels from the right to the left. I now present to you the class of 2014. We would like to invite all of you back to the campus for a reception and opportunity to say goodbye and to thank your faculty and your family.